Get chew off, man. Not like you want go live on TikTok to get chew off. Like a score star. 100% losing them, man.
Bless up in the comment section. What's the prediction for tonight games? What's the prediction for tonight game?
Prediction. You understand? Me they have. Nah, like me they have Paraguay to get at least 2-1. I see a lot of minutes in the game still. Long time to go. Kind of did predict for them Paraguay to get a 2-1 win. Half-time break.
2-1 to the US. That was the result. I was saying as well that they might win this game 2-1, even though it's a very good Paraguayan team. Build up of a lot of defensive base. It's so crazy that this coach took over. The team was outside of one of the players of our automatic qualifying spot in CONMEBOL, and they managed to turn around things. That tells you a lot, about how good is Gustavo Alfaro. But let's see how much he can turn around this plot, because it's not going to be an easy game. Emotionally, it's riding high at this moment. The US first game and US side, over 20 years. So they want to start out on a high. They want to really start out on a high. I think this game have a lot more to offer. The game fresh. US the US team is still in the element. But give the Paraguayan team a couple more moments in the game. Maybe they start off a second half, but they don't want to get in the rhythm when the game is already out of their side. 1-0 is okay, but go 2-0 down, go 3-0 down or 3-1. That's the last of the scoreline that you'd want to see on the score sheet. So let's see what's going to happen. But I really like the US energy. I think their energy, Paraguay have not matched up that energy as yet. I think when you look at the runs that the midfielders in the middle of the park, making as well, they're not sticking, to their regular routine setup. They're all over the place. So they get a few opportunities, but this Paraguayan team is really yet to settle. But they strive, under these atmosphere, playing their back against the wall. Paraguayan team coming up against majority of the teams in South America. They would be the least favorite team to win, a match day in their region as well. So they used to these type of atmosphere, can be very passionate from this USD and the fans. The stadium can be very loud. It's something that they used to in South America. They themselves create this type of atmosphere, in their own stadium as well. So this venue is not new, but the stage is a lot new for eventually all of these players. This is not the Copa America. This is the FIFA World Cup. Everyone is watching at this moment. The US national team is playing, so everyone is tuning in. Copa America is only a selective of few of people around the world really go out their way to watch. the Copa America, but the World Cup, so many eyes, millions of people glued to the radio, whatever device they are watching it on at this moment, they glued to that. So Paraguay, man, tough team, same way. Going even 2-0 down, they're not going to give up. They are a resilient team. They like to fight. And if
2-0 USA. Balagan score another goal. Might be suspect for an offside. 2-0 USA so far. I think it's an offside. Offside goal. Brilliant finish from Balagan. You get what I'm saying? Brilliant play from Weston McKinney and Pulisic. Yes, offside. First play from Pulisic. But USA look bright so far. You look up for it. You get what I'm saying? Compared to Canada in the early game, the next host. You get what I'm saying? But USA does look really, really, really up for this one today. I ain't gonna lie. I have to give it to them. 28 minutes gone in the game so far, and they look very much up for it.
Yeah, Balogun, got few moments in the game, as well, but this one was the clearest one he got. But let's see, I think should have time a little bit more perfect, but very anxious to get in beyond this Paraguayan team. And they still play with a decent field eye line. He's not really sitting in a low block. He's like a mid block. Very aggressive team, very aggressive, very good defensive record as well. Yeah. But a team that not really scored many goals. You get what I'm saying? They don't concede a lot with this under this new coach, but they don't score a lot. So it's they have to find a balance in this World Cup. I do have Paraguay to do something in this group, especially if they are playing in this region. This is America's region. This is like home. Yeah, this is like home to them. So I expect nothing but showing full support in their team, which they normally strive on as well. Where sometimes you look at this team where I think the way how this team plays, you could easily look at this like maybe if they have like a player like Rocco Santa Cruz, a real tradition number 9 who's very good at the highest level, maybe this team would have strive a little bit more. But again, the free flowing, the fluidity, all they play, falls number 9 up front, the front three, really can play anywhere as well.
I think Paraguay need to get Insensa in the game. Him and Almaran. Goal. 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say we look up for it today.
Yeah,
sharp.
Yeah. I think they've been threatening down the flanks. I think they've been threatening down the flanks. All this game, they've been threatening down the flanks. To be honest, if you look at it, I think they're up for it. I think they're up for it. I think game is not quite done as yet, but it's far from seeing a Paraguayan team, scoring 2 goals and a special day in US football history. It's a very big day for them. So game is not done. Tooling league can sometimes be some of the most dangerous lead. Leading 2-0. You can get a goal. The nerves. The team that was leading 2-0, you actually like peg them back halfway. And then from there, you never know what can happen. But you have to put yourself in the position to score the goals.
I must say though, in all the recent USA first game in the World Cup, I think this has been one of their best performances so far. I ain't gonna lie about that. What's your thoughts on that?
No, I think it's something's been coming. If you look at, I think the Senegal game, something was in the air with this team, and I think patches of the German team, something was in the air. I don't know if they were more closer drawn to the World Cup, this first present game that we're watching. I don't know if the players, are getting attached, but The build up. I know the Pochettino, is against the media, the players. Yes, I guess everything seems like it's merged together at this moment. But I think they look really sharp. I think they look really sharp. I remember, a US team going into a major tournament. I think it was 2009, a Confed Cup in South Africa. I think they were really good in that tournament, and that was a very impressive tournament as well. But it's been a while, I've seen a US team really up for, a World Cup game, at this magnitude that I can remember. I can't remember much US game beyond 2006. Cannot remember much. Yeah. So let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Even if you look at, I think 2006 in Germany, I think they get knocked out of the first round. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they look really bright. They look really bright. I think if they can play that this standard for the entire World Cup campaign that they're going to play in, I think they have a very long run in this World Cup, with this intensity. This game, I think it's, I don't know, they're not even playing as if like the heat is better, but I think I don't remember if this stadium is a covered stadium. I'm not sure in Arlington.
I think it go all the way up. If you when the camera change again, you're gonna see it. It's a very tall stadium.
It's in
Yeah, compared to the
Inglewood,
compared
California. Yeah.
yeah, there's a very tall stadium compared to the stadium that Canada played in today. And I remember too, the temperature in California right now is not too hot, especially over that side in LA. I think when it gets around this temperature, it kind of get a little bit more chilly a little bit. I wouldn't say warm, just chilly because they Inglewood, LA side, they're close to the water over that side.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not.
Ooh, what a play.
So I'm not sure. There's a massive intense of heat. Is that was a brilliant one. That was a
One do I have to say though, there's a massive come out for both three of the host team in this first game. Like USA, I've never seen a USA game where this much fans come out to come support USA in a very long time. So you have to give that to the support of them. Massive respect
yeah.
to the
This is what Pochettino been asking for, innit?
Yeah, Everton, yeah, they're playing good. They look real up for it. I don't know if they can keep up this high intensity for 90 minutes though. There's no way a team can play up a 90 minutes for this such a long time. But let's see if they can, because they're playing really good.
I think when you look at even the play that just did wide right, you look at him and Freeman is on the right hand side. It's all about to nullify Miguel Almiron. It's if you look at some of the games that they play, the build up of this tournament in the friendlies, they try to do as much as they can, even though it's a free flowing team. But Miguel Almiron is one of the most influential players in this Paraguayan team. So I'm not sure if that was the thinking of playing two defensive mind player and knowing that this is a liability, when it comes down to 1v1. And this is the thing where this is what good managers, will do at times. They will not leave one of their best players. Trent
Yeah,
Alexander-Arnold is one of England's best fullback. And you have to find ways how to plug him in. You get what I'm saying? And you're not going to see Pochettino come up against a very good, strong France team. Maybe Mbappe is coming off the left hand side. You don't know which one of those players are coming off the left hand side, and he's going to play, a surgeon at this at right back position, knowing that is much of a liability defending 1v1 versus any speed merchant, skillful wingers. So he find ways and how he can get his best players at times and to balance out a certain level. And I think with Sergio, this very good, skillful, very good 1v1 as well. I think that role, will suit him. If you look at the French winning team that won the World Cup in Russia, you remember what Didier Deschamps did? You have N'Golo Kante, you have Paul Pogba, and you have Griezmann, and then you have Giroud, and you have Kylian Mbappe, and you have Stick Matuidi out there and one of the wing. You get what I'm saying? So you have to find creative ways of balance out a starting 11, a squad itself with your most influential players that that going to get the job done for you more likely when they on the pitch. So I just kind of like this setup, to be honest, from Pochettino. I've never really thought of hit of playing, this wide right, in the attacking third. But when you look at the options on the bench, yeah, you have players like Adjurite can play on the right. You have Weah, can play on the right, which would have been his position, his role. Diarena at 10 slash, any one of the wing as well. You have Zendejas, on very good form, Club America this campaign, naturally a number 10, but can pop off anyone off, coming off the right hand side or the left hand side as well. So there's options and there's a lot of flexibility in this US team of getting players off the bench. But it's a very intriguing one to really see this wide right, playing, the attacking third. And I think that will give him, much advantage of going forward, knowing that there's covers, in the back, where he will have the license to go forward. He have the ability to go forward without have to think that who will behind, tracking back, who will behind, mapping up as well if I lose possession of the ball. So I just think it's a very, bold and a very good move as well from Mauricio Pochettino, playing that wide right as well. I think it's working out so far.
But there's always been an attacking player now, even when his first time at Ajax, when he break onto the scene, he always have that little fairness about him. That's why Barcelona did sign him in the first place. So him playing out on that right side more attacking, it kind of suit him a little bit, and doesn't look out of place when he's in the attack. I don't know if you saw that play when he cut inside and he chopped the player, and I think the player fouled him and the referee player on. So this has always been that very skillful player. You get what I'm saying? He very skillful, and look at him. Look at this play. That was a brilliant play. You see what I'm saying? So he look like a natural winger out there, playing out there. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's a very good tactics from Pochettino to have him out there, because I don't think I think he's straight. He's a right back, but I don't think he's good at playing as a right back, to me personally. You get what I'm saying? So seeing him out there, you get me? I think it suits him a little bit to take away that defensive what he needs to be defending. So yeah, I think it's good so far. So far, it's working.
Yeah, when you have players like this, type of fullback like Sergio, this, like Dani Alves, we have seen Pep Guardiola, play Dani Alves in roles, like that, before. No, not Pep Guardiola. I forgot the coach. It's not Pep Guardiola. It was, I'm trying to remember the coach that died, with cancer. But forget it. I've seen Dani Alves play that role, already, for Barcelona, where he really looks good, as a winger. He played in few El Clasico as well, where he played him in front, sometimes. I remember if it was but you know what I'm talking about, where the players that the most attacking players that playing in the attacking third, it gives them a lot of life, knowing that There's defensive structure behind him. There's cover, behind him. And for Des to have Freeman behind, that right hand side, it gave him a lot of confidence of go express yourself, go play attacking football. And also, as the mind of a fullback, whatever he sees, there's plays are movements where he needs to get in position to get back. Naturally, it will come right to him. So rather than you have a Timothy where that will drift outward and drift, away from, the most. That's another very good move as well for this. I think he has been
You
very
see,
prolific.
you see what this is doing?
I think
He's driven with his left foot and going towards the defender. And then when he go towards the defender, he cut on his right and beat him. Look when he have the
he's a
balance.
very good. He's really using the step over at his best, and dropping shoulder, inside and then go use the ball, his right foot to bring that ball out on the right hand side. So he's slightly drop his shoulder left inside and then use the right foot to step over and move the ball. So I think it has been working for him as well. And the Paraguayan defender, Alonso, playing for Atletico Mineiro in Brazil, he just cannot stay with him. He needs help, and Almiron is not going to help. So if you look at this Paraguayan team, you have Almiron, you have Enciso, you have Sanabria, and who is out on that right hand side, and also Gomez from Brighton. They are not. None of them are really a true out and out nine. So there's no vocal point where someone the ball will stick, which it can really handicap this attacking players for Paraguay, and that's how they have to play. But someone has to take all of this ball. Someone has to give the team a bit of respite. Someone have to just like that. Yeah. Just hold up the ball, draw a few fouls, pull people in.
I asked me, Dan, USA at 94, who scored the famous own goal? Alexi I'm not a fan of USA. Yeah, we might live here, but we're not a fan of USA football. But me, I'm gonna do a massive guess. Alexi McAllis, is what's that pundit and Fox name? The farmer,
Alexis Leas.
Yeah.
I remember. I think it was the Colombian he's probably talking about. Escobar. I think it's the Colombian he's talking about. Yeah. Escobar, the Colombian in a famous own goal.
No, I thought he was talking an American player. Oh, my bad.
No, the famous own goal, was Escobar.
Oh,
in
the Colombian with the whole part here.
Yeah, with the whole part. That is Valderrama. I'm talking about. He kind of like a slightly ponytail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he slightly have a ponytail.
Safe.
There's a movie on Netflix about it as well. There's a movie on Netflix about it. Yeah, but the US man, they raise the bar, they raise their tempo. Much needed. I think with this game, if this game finish with the same score or with a greater score, the US media will crash tonight. They will automatically become the favorite of this World Cup.
Somebody just text me say USA win the World Cup.
See, it's already started already. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Text by the president. Come on, bro. This is Paraguay. Paraguay been so poor, and let's be honest, we are not. I don't think Paraguay can be any worse than this second half. You get what I'm saying? I think.
I just think
a quarterfinal for USA in this tournament would have been a success.
I don't think so. Oh, for you, I don't think so. I think they need semifinal.
That's a disappointment.
Yeah, I think.
After
since I'm not going to work tomorrow, I need to do that bracket. I need to see how that bracket set up, where I can have a very good, decent conversation of, what's ahead of them going forward. who might be the potential matchups, going forward as well. So I need to see that bracket. But if the US hold this 2-0 win, or hold any type of win with this type of display, what we are seeing at this moment, the US media will crash tonight about the US will be one of the favorites in the early rounds of the FIFA World Cup. Well, I don't know if we are sick. I didn't see the build up of the play. Nick, what is your take on Brazil and England? Oh, yeah, I think that is I heard that one. There's a possibility of the Brazil team and the English team could meet up. The possibility of Ronaldo versus Messi. I think the England will probably get something like what they get in 2002. I mean, look, I watched that game in Wembley when I think Hendrick scored that goal in Wembley when Brazil and England played. I just feel like this England team will probably lack a Marvel type of a player. You have teams like England, should have that big name player where he's a killer. Yeah, Hurricane, as much as Hurricane scored around 61 goal in outcomes, he could be that player. But when you're talking about players that who have done it, on the international level, at the club level, come up with something out of nothing. I've seen clips, of Gary Lick, getting some very good goals at crucial times as well. Yeah, it's done.
Balogun. Look at Balogun compared to David today. David is literally a meme on X right now. My God. I ain't gonna lie. You have to give it to them. They play really good.
Yeah. They're... Yeah, I think I'm not going to say stage fright, but I just think that any team coming into a World Cup game with inexperienced players who is playing World Cup for the very first time, I just think that with the level of quality that this US team start the game with, it's very tough to match, especially they are one of the hosts of this World Cup. It's very tough. It's very tough to match up. Yeah, it's very tough. You look at the Paraguayan players, they're looking up in the sky, they're looking at the camera, they're looking at each other like, I don't think none of them know exactly what have happened in the last 50 minutes of the game. I don't think none of them realize what really hit them. And that was the last real big moment. And that I think that's the last dagger. I think that was the last dagger punch. You cannot concede 2 goals and then concede the third one right on the stroke of the last play of the first half. And
is it over?
I think what I saw, with this Paraguayan team, with Sanabria and then Sousa up front, I think it's just difficult, to see this Paraguayan team come back. I don't think they have this in them. If there's any comeback in this game, the US have to be poor. The players for the US team have to be poor in the second half, and I just cannot see that. I would probably see a team at dressing room like Mauricio, Pochettino. He will be happy, but he will not ease up at any given moment. He want that last straw.
To make them way too experienced to make them go laps and allow Paraguay to get back in this game. There's no way I just can't see. Like, if Paraguay, as I said, they concede another, I think I didn't think they was gonna concede another goal, but they're gonna be much better coming into the second half. Everton, I think as I said, USA, the farthest I can see USA go in this tournament is maybe quarterfinal. I think Nick said that's a disappointed, but you have to be realistic. You get what I'm saying? You have to be realistic, and this is not a good Paraguay team, so I don't want people to get carried away and think that USA is gonna win the World Cup now. But they look really good. They look up for it, and they only can beat who's in front of them. You get what I'm saying? Like they only can beat who in front of them. And over the last couple of games, they have been really good. They have been very, very, very impressive. So um, I want to see how they approach the second half. Is if they're gonna continue trying to go on the gas, are they gonna put on the handbrake and just say, hey, what? We don't want to get injured. No players to get injured because they are bigger fish to fry. You get what I'm saying? But so far, they look really good. They look up for it. And they play Australia next in their next group game. I think they will win that game also. They will beat Australia. So USA definitely. I think the game that everybody will really want to see. I think Australia and USA and maybe Turkey is gonna be the two teams fighting for the first place. So I think that's where they're gonna really, really that's where I really can judge them and say, okay, they can go far from there because that Turkey game, I think Turkey will beat Paraguay and Australia, and then USA that last game in the group where USA and Turkey fight it out for who can come from top of the group.
So, what I'm seeing, right? The US, the bracket, they can face Spain in the quarterfinal. There's a possibility that they can face Spain in the quarterfinal if both teams win their group and win the next two knockout rounds, the round of 32 and the round of 16. There's a possibility, I'm looking at it and I'm trying to analyze and going through some of the teams and that the possibility that US can face, and there's a much possibility that they can face the Spanish team, and that would be very good as well. That would be very excellent as well. US just good because Paraguay not good enough. Run of 32, run of 16.
Did you answer? Did you answer? I think someone did ask about what's your take on England and
look, I think England have a very good chance, but England coming up against one of the top teams. Yeah, coming up against one of the top teams in the world. Brazil might not have the spectacular players anymore, but the pedigree of the name, the 5-star, and their crest, England come up against that team, it's always going to be tough. Always going to be tough for them. And if both teams can meet each other in around somewhere in the quarterfinals, that will be a very good game. But England, will struggle, against two of the top South American teams, Brazil or Argentina. Coming up against one of the top European team, they will struggle. If you look at that run to I think it was the semi-final in Russia, they went. Look at the bracket. They get some very good draw as well. That some favorable game that no real top team they really beat to reach right here. I can if you look to double check. So in the round of 16 in 2018, England beat Colombia. Quarterfinals, England beat Sweden, and then in the semi-final, they lost against Croatia. So when you talk about some good opposition team, when it comes on to these big moments, England, you just never know what you're going to get. And if you look at, let me see the other side as well of last World Cup, where England plays Senegal, and then they play France, and they got another 2-1 piece in them head. Just like the Croatia team beat them in Russia. So I think every time when they come up against some of the big nations, the real footballing countries where you talk about, even at Croatia, that Croatia team was very good in Russia. They were very good as well in Qatar. And they couldn't beat them. So I just think the Brazil team would be a bit of a chaos for the English team. They can, and that would be a massive opportunity for them to beat one of the big boys in the World Cup. We look at this Brazil team; it's not the best.
You
Nowhere
know,
near
the
the
next
best.
thing too. There's a lot of unknown for this tournament. Like until there's a lot of unknown. Like we don't know what's gonna happen. I know we can go off a paper, but I feel like until we able to see at least 2 games from each teams, we can judge and say, yeah, this team is real up for it. You get what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of teams come in and the condition and a lot of injuries, you know, a long season. So I think I'm still gonna wait until I see every team in the tournament that play 2 games and then go from there. I can say yeah. But you know, people still have them favorites, the France, the Argentina, the Brazil, the England, but let's still come because I never expect this from USA at all. And they have over the last couple of years since Pochettino came in, they have been dreadful. And then look at them now. You know, I mean, I know Paraguay team is not up to par, but nobody would have expect USA to mean 3-0 up in the first half against a South American team, regardless of not the best South American team. But you get what I'm saying? But we'll see England, Brazil, you know, they have a lot of depth squad. England go experience this time, experience coach. Brazil went outside Brazil and go area a top legendary coach. So you see what I'm going.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to give this US team a lot of credit. I think what they really showed us in the first 45 minutes, them show the true potential and the level of what this team can play with. Maybe this is the expectation they're waiting on to play in a packed stadium at home in a World Cup game, group stage. Maybe this was a big moment they're really waiting for, right? The build up, the some of the analysts would have been talking about a Paraguayan team. Okay, it's not a top South American team, but you have to give the US a lot of credit because the Paraguayan team under this coach, it's been a resurgent Paraguayan team. That's why they are here. Before he took over, it was really a shit team. But the newly informed Gustavo Alfaro at the end for Paraguay, he has transformed it. And for the Reggae Boys fans who is currently watching the stream, remember Copa America. This coach was the Costa Rican coach, where Costa Rica was actually punching above their level in that Copa America. I think they had Brazil and Bolivia in their group. This was the same coach Paraguay snatched away from Costa Rica. I said, listen, give this man to me. And he's a Paraguayan as well. So he went back home and he transformed this team. So I think it's a still good team, but it might not be the level of the Brazil, the Colombia, or the Argentina at that level. But they still managed to finish 8 points away from 7th in the CONMEBOL to manage to finish comfortable and have one of the best defensive record. Hercules Gomez would have said they have the most tackles in that qualification round as well. But I just think the US team was just so good in the first 45 minutes where it just hit the wind out of this inexperienced team at this level. 5 players in this starting level playing Qatar for the US. And I think the other 5 or 6 are new players to this World Cup. They have the core players. So they know what to expect in a World Cup game. These Paraguayan players, it's all about the level of where they are at this moment. There's no real pressure on them. But US have a point to prove. And I believe that, with them being fresh, being ready, they float the block with the fastest.
Do you think there's a buzz as a team or as a player Do you think
Yeah,
that they
there's
want to play?
yeah,
Not
yeah.
not. Do you think they want? Do you want to play first? Do you want to be the team that play the game first? Like like you want to play the game first, so people can all the rest of the team them can see what you can do. Do you think there's an advantage of that, or because I feel like team that sit there and waiting to play them game, you feel nervous. You just want to get off that first game as quick as possible. You get
I
what I'm
think
saying?
I think with the US, they're going to host most of the games. They are like probably the host of this World Cup, right? They want to get the media on their side, especially in the US. They want to get the fans on side, and I think the best possible game to get it is this game. Who is last game in this group for the US men's national team? Is it Turkey? Yes.
Yeah, Turkey.
You don't want to go into that game with a young, again, inexperienced, but more high level youngsters in our Turkey team. Go into that game want a result to automatically qualify. You don't want to go in that. So there are different factors around it where it really allow the player them to go out there and listen, man. We have to get this job done. I don't really support the US team, but what I've seen against a fairly decent South American team, I think the US deserve a lot of credit. Pochettino deserve a lot of credit. Whatever he did with that selection of took out Timothy Weah from that right hand side and bring Sergio Des, I think that was a perfect decision, and I think it balanced the team, and also Tillman to start Tillman in that game as well, which Tillman wasn't playing up standard. If you look at the couple of games that they played against Germany and I think Senegal, Beralta has been one of their most influential players in that midfield, and he find himself on the bench. So a few selection were and a few tweaks, raise a bit of eyebrow, but Pochettino deserve a lot of credit, and that's all I have to say. But into the last 5 minutes of this game, it will teach me and you guys as well watching the stream, and for the ones them that watching the game at the stadium, how much of a men and a mature team this is. We're going to see how the US see out a game. We're going to see how they manage different phases and transition into the last 1/4 of the final whistle. So that's really I have to say
Don't forget,
around this team.
don't forget these core players. These set of core players have been to a multiple tournament before. The Westman Kenny, the Des, the Pulisic, the Richardson. So these core players have been through multiple tournaments before. So I think that they finally start to have that experience now. You get what I'm saying with the experience of Ream in the back, and the new core that are coming in with Tillman. You get what I'm saying? So this team, they're still young, but I feel like they've been playing so many tournaments now where they should have some type of experience. You get what I'm saying? Even Pulisic is such a fine player. You get what I'm saying? I know he didn't have the best of season at AC Milan, but he have come up to be that leader now, the Captain America that they call him. But you know what I'm saying? So I think if this is the time that USA need to prove the world wrong and kick it on. You know what I'm saying?
How many of these players in the US starting have not a really good club season? Not many. Not many. You're looking at his name in the goal, Matt Freeze, for NYFC. You look at Boligun, he had a poor campaign before the season just end in 24-25, but really pick up his sacks 25-26 season, almost scored 20 goals. You look at Sergio that's been struggling with injury. Freeman as well, just leaving the MLS, playing in Europe now, not getting much games, but they really turn up to the spot at this moment. McKenny, it's been a stop and go season at Juve, perform good in patches, but not on a consistent basis. But That's why I said you have to give them credit. Anthony Robinson, not so good last campaign for Fulham. Chris Richards, arguably could be one of Leicester City, top two, top three player of the season. So it's not a massive of them, at a very good club season. So for what they're doing at this moment and they look this sharp and bright, I mean, kudos to them because when they play shitty, we all criticize them. So I think they deserve some credit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
But
saying?
I wanna see how they're gonna approach if they're gonna come off the gas pedal and try to be a little bit more professional and try not to pick up too much, try not to pick up no injuries, you get me? And try to just hold out the game and be professional and try to make some changes and take off the most important players. I can see Balogun and Pulisic come off. Adams, I think Adams might come off. I think he does have a history of picking up a lot of injuries. So I think that see how they can manage the game, the rest of the game. You get what I'm saying? And they don't have to go for the kill no more. You don't want to pick up no injuries or even try to you're chasing the game or you're already winning and Paraguay get away on a break and get back one and you know what I'm saying, the nerves to start to come in, you get me? So I want to see how Pochettino, because Pochettino, when he was at Chelsea, I think one of his biggest problem that I have with him, he does not know how to manage games. Like if you realize when Pochettino was at Chelsea, there was a lot of back and forth game. 4-3, 3-3. You get what I'm saying? So I want to see how he's gonna manage this game. Because I don't think he's a good coach at that.
Yeah, that would, and also it will show a lot on the maturity of the players in this team. Yeah. Are you listening to commentary? Because I'm not listening to the commentary. You heard
I'm listening to the commentary.
what was the reason for Christian Pulisic?
They said that it was a knock and they just take him off for caution reason, and I think that based off what the commentary was saying, that they only did that because USA are up 3. I think if the game was still 0-0 or maybe 1-0, they wouldn't make that change. But they're up 3-0. I think this is a little easier to do that.
Yeah. You're talking about taking out Tyler Adams. There's no real CDM in this team. Outside of Tyler Adams. So I don't know who they're going to put in that role as well. That was one of the reasons of leaving Testament.
And you don't just Christian Roldan to come in and do a job, winning 3-0 at home.
I think it's a bit too early. I think it's a bit too early.
No, not right now. Maybe like in the 70 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. Again,
good try.
Right, so that's you see, that's a turnover right there. That's a turnover right there. So I want to see how they manage the game, how they manage the second half, because obviously the Paraguay team will leave a lot of room behind. But I just think at this time, you don't want to see the US team pick up too much yellow card, because if you look at the rule, 2 yellow card, you miss the next game. Simple as that. You get what I'm saying? So let's see what's going to happen. But I
don't think they should start swap out yet. Maybe like in the set. Oh, yeah, Paraguay they'll start this half very strong. I think if Paraguay get a goal before the 60th minute, I think this is gonna be a very nervy game.
There's a difference of playing knowing that there's pressure on you and the scoreline change than when the scoreline is 3-0 up and you have the license and freedom to do it.
I did say that. I did say that Paraguay should come better this second half. I think there's no way they can come back out like that though they play first half.
That's one of the weakness. You just see it a while ago, and a lot of the analysts speak on it. The pace of Team Rim. Look at how easy Amaran beat him on the byline. Look how easy. Look how easy he beat.
Yeah, you're right.
Look how easy he beat with the pace. So you see, these are the things that you have to do. You have to pull them out of shape. You cannot allow them to play comfortable with no real pressure. You get what I'm saying? So if you can, do this stuff, you will start to have them to ask a lot of questions. But if you get a US team playing with high confidence, you're not asking any question from the defensive line, then you are going to be in big problem, especially when they are scoring goals. And I think the US team should expect this as
There's a
well.
VR check. There's a VR check.
For what?
Not sure. Mistake identity.
Mistake identity of
After
a
whoever
pass.
got the yellow card.
Who is this referee? This referee is from Netherlands. Danny McKeely. That's crazy. Misidentity.
Wait. Look at this. I don't like this. I don't like this. They're re-reffing the game. So the foul that happened, remember I was telling that it wasn't a foul?
Mm-hmm.
So the referee is going to go back and re-ref the game because Amran dived, and then he's going to give the yellow card to Amran. What type of nonsense is this?
The referee make a mistake. Come on. But you make a mistake. Like, I don't get this, man. I don't get this. This I don't like this type of a rule. Okay, fine. He dived, but come on, it's not even in the box. So he's going to take away the yellow card from Team Rim, right?
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that.
I need to listen to this game. I need to find a way to listen to this game.
So where you watch the game pan?
No, I'm going to listen to it on the radio with through my phone and head and my earpod. I just don't want the commentary come through the stream. You know,
so look what me I do.
What?
So me I talk to you. Me I talk to you.
No,
this.
me I go listen to the phone the game through my earpod.
That's gonna be a lot of discussion about that play. I don't agree with that. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, Everton, I understand, but I don't agree. I don't agree with that. You make a mistake, then move on with the game. I can't believe the referee go back and challenge. Like, so I want to know if me not agree with that call there, with that rule there. This feel like the NBA and the NFL. I don't like that. I don't like. You're telling me that you give a free kick. So what if Paraguay did score from that incident, and then you give Timmery the yellow card? So are you gonna take away the goal? Or are you just gonna take away the card? I don't like that. I don't like that rule.
Yeah, I really don't like what I really see with them really I do with the mistake in the goal would be revoked. That's crazy.
So you're telling me that if they score from that insane incident, they're gonna take away the goal?
That would have been crazy. I mean, maybe it would have a point. Maybe it have a point because there is a goal, but since that was outside the box, it was a yellow card. But FIFA, get some new rules in. So
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a
Yeah,
fan.
I'm not really a fan of it. The referee make a mistake, he make a mistake, and that's it. We'll just live with it. It's outside of the box, it's fine. But if it was in the box and the player dive, then you can
I am
receive
wondering
the
if
yellow card. But
I'm wondering if they talk to all these teams and these federation about all these new rules.
nah,
Because
I
why is
think
this? Because the players them look very confused.
they would have known the rule. The rule would have published. Yeah, the rule would have published. But I just I just can't see how that happened. It's outside the box. Team rim lunging, but Almiron he dive. Allow the game to continue. We are using AI to control the game. Some of these stuff don't need to be changed. We're all humans with mistakes, and even when they have the AI system, they're still making mistakes with the VAR. I mean, some of the rules that they really implement,
No.
like
Ronnie, when I say they're not gonna take when I say they're not use VR and take away goal now, but we're talking about a foul, a regular foul that happened throughout a game, and therefore give a yellow card because he thought it was a foul, and then say Paraguay go and score that goal. You're gonna revoke that goal because the same incident following up to the goal, it wasn't a foul, so you're gonna revoke that goal. They're gonna have a lot of problem if that's the thing. I like that kid number 17, a very good player. Who's that for USA?
Tillman.
A Tillman,
Mhm.
very good player.
There's so much superstar in this game.
Yeah, I agree with Everton. I think the goal will stand and then just take away the yellow card. There's no way to take away the goal. No
That's
way.
crazy.
Paraguay does look a little bit better in second half. They're getting on the ball. Almost 60 minutes in the game.
It would have been very, interesting to see how they will manage the pace, because to continue with that high level of intensity, it would have taken a lot on their body. And does it necessary at this moment, leading 3-0, to continue with that intensity? I'm not sure. It's all about managing. It's all about managing the game. It's all about managing the game at this moment. But all right, look at it on a player's standpoint. Would you want to still be flying, through challenges, flying down the flanks, pressing high, burning a lot of energy, knowing that you're leading 3-0, but just really manage the game and pick your moments? Because it would be a long tournament, the heat. But one thing I can say though, there will be, quite a few extra days of recovery, because of expansion of a tournament. But days are coming when two groups are playing one day, four games in the space of 24 hours. So,
but then at the same time, you don't want to take your foot off the gas.
that's you have to be, yeah. That's why you have to be careful. You have to be careful. Yeah, it's a very sensitive way of. Tillman grew up in Germany. His father was in the military.
Yeah, he's a brilliant. I like him. A very good footballer. He's a PSV. PSV, I'm hoping.
Yeah, one of those Dutch teams.
No, is that Bayern Leverkusen. He's at Bayern Leverkusen. I think he was at PSV at one time. Let me see.
Oh, they are PSV, Pepe.
Yeah, he was at PSV. Yeah, him just go Bayern Leverkusen this season. Malik Tillman.
I didn't remember Malik Tillman was at Leverkusen. Yeah, you're right.
Ronnie is right. Ronnie is
Yeah.
right. He grew up in Germany. He come to Germany, Bayern Munich Academy. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, he came up to Bayern Munich Academy. I didn't know that. Goal. Sure. You know who the way or he play Tillman, he give me a look of not a winger, but like a Jaden Sancho. The way he move with the ball, just look at him how he move with the ball, like a Jaden Sancho. That's a brilliant tackle.
The US have some very good bunch of players. It's just to get the proper coach, to help them. They have a very good bunch of players playing at the highest level. You have a very, this team can arguably play another World Cup together again easily.
Yeah.
Easily, this team can play another World Cup. So they have a very good. So this is why we are beating down on the JFF to do things the right way. Get the youngsters through the door, helping, clubs, help get scouts, help get agents as well, where you can get the players out of the country as quick as possible. You get what I'm saying? So they have a very good bunch of players at this moment. And if you look at probably what happened probably like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, even during the COVID and post-COVID, they started to ship out a lot of youngsters into some of the big names, European clubs academy. Not all of them will make it.
Yo, somebody said check the Gatorade. USA look too. USA look too fit. Yeah, watch out. Check the Gatorade. Check the Gatorade. USA Gatorade. No. You don't think these guys slow down? That is crazy.
They pump up for this, man. They pump up for it. But it's all about, longevity in this tournament. If they can, wow, that's a very reckless challenge. Very reckless one. Yeah, it's all about if they can sustain this high level of playing.
David Beckham. Very disappointing this Paraguay team, though. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie. Very disappointing.
yeah. I think that last goal in the 58th minute was the last dagger. I think that give them no chance of coming back into this team. Why you never lash the ball right across the goal? These players need to be checked. Something something is wrong with these players, man. They got injected with something.
Yeah, somebody said check them Gatorade.
Yeah, a player like Robinson grew up in Liverpool. Yeah, the way incident of his father and stuff like that. But at one point there was an influx of young players migrating from the US into some very good academy overseas. Not all of
It's not
them.
a
Not all of them really going to make it. You still have quite a few out there, but that was a chance they took, and it paid off for some of them. Not all, but just a few. Wow, Gomes.
I'm not a fan of players when they get hit in the face and you go down. You don't know if the referee gonna blow that whistle. You see what I'm saying? And then you leave your team and pressure. So what if the team will score? Not a fan of the USA, but I like their jersey. I think I'm gonna get one of those jerseys.
I will never wear a US jersey. I will never wear a US jersey. Sorry, I can't do it. There's two jerseys that I will never wear: Liverpool and a US jersey. I will never wear those two jerseys.
You wear a Barcelona jersey?
Yeah, I would wear a Barcelona jersey, but I will never wear a Liverpool and a US jersey.
I would never wear Arsenal and Man U jersey. Them jerseys I'm just can't do.
I will never do that.
Me rate in an international team jersey. I don't have a 80s towards any international team, to be honest. All right, now I'll be trying to build up my collection, so I'm not really mind.
Yeah, I mean, good to build up, in a collection, but not with the US team. Sorry. If I get a Pulisic jersey, I would probably give it to my son. If he wanted, he wanted. I would give it away. I don't wear that US jersey. I don't want it, man.
Man, say you live in the US. Yeah, the one living there, people that play.
I live, but I will never wear a US jersey.
I will wear. I like this. I think this is the first US jersey I actually like. I like it.
But we can give them some credit. I think it's a very good design jersey, though. It's really looking good.
No, I like it. I really like it. If you have it on, anyway, if you have on a jersey, people are gonna see it. Like that's all. It's well. I don't know. How can you say that?
Active bomb. Yeah, I mean the US jersey it look good, especially they have some very good drips. Some pre-game drips as well. I really love it. They wear that special drip, when they played Senegal in Charlotte. That was a very good drip as well. I really like it. But yeah, end of the first half and the second half, yeah, the US is cooking, man. It's their cooking. Yeah, look, so this performance can be an advantage and a disadvantage because then now people will be looking at this US team of keeping up this high standard of play. It's not easy to do it. It's not easy, So they might can do it through the group stage, but when the knockout round start, when they start to get the bigger teams, they don't know which one of these teams will advance in the top 8 of the best third place. They don't know anyone as yet, so that's the crazy. Yeah, it's about blessing. It's about blessing and a curse.
Does the Nigeria break necessary? Because I think the game was playing fine, and then
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the hydration break is really necessary. I think it's a trick. I think it's a trick of getting commercials in.
maybe in the first half, but every time it's like it have to happen. I don't like that.
I don't like it, man.
This is myself sports.
I like the rule of if the temperature is probably like over 85 degrees Fahrenheit, then yeah, cool. I can live with that, but I just shan't break, man, in the first and second half. Come on, man. Stop. Leave the game. So what would you say about players that's played in the past? They didn't get an hydration break.
Sports said once you take the hydration break in the first half, it must be taken in the second half.
Yeah.
Why? Is that a rule?
But Daniel, what does hydration
do you think the hydration break gonna be in the knockout stage? In the final? Is this gonna be?
It's going to be through the entire World Cup.
Oh, it's a rule.
It's going to be through the entire World Cup.
I hope this does not. They don't try to implement this into the Premier League and this 9.
You will see it very soon. The game gone to a way where it can't control anymore.
What is the NBA?
The players has been spoon fed. it's a hydration break, but it's a part of getting commercials. In you realize when hydration break call, the TV cut instantly.
Yeah.
Commercials, man. That's what paid the bills. The commercials. But
I don't think the players them care, to be honest. I think the fans them on the old school fans them of football. Yeah, but I don't think the players them actually care.
come on, referee. That's not really a fault. So we're seeing likes of Pepe, where is coming on as well. I really want to see the coach bring on, the man that's playing in Mexico, Zeneas. I really want to see him fully, get in this US team of be one of that man in the midfield. I think he's a very good player, but
Yeah.
really yet to get the opportunity in a run on a consistent basis. He was really out of Pochettino teams. Short the friendlies. It was a very surprise one as well who get picked. Hydration break is based on the temperature of the place and playing in happens even in the JPL early in the sun games. Yeah, but may I say, is it that cold? No, is it that hot in Cali? That's your neck of woods right now. You said the Inglewood is closer to the water. Is it that hot? I usually know it was based on the temperature of
I don't think it's that
the
hard.
city of where they're playing. I was watching the Mexico game, and it was like 72 degrees Fahrenheit in Mexico City. The gust wind was like 10 miles per hour, and there's still a hydration break. So I don't get it.
Bird Bowser say it hot over here. I'm here in LA.
I said it was 105 degrees in Charlotte today. It was 105 degrees. Today was hot. So me not really surprised, but me just say like even the
I
Mexico
feel like
game.
I feel like it was hotter in Mexico. The game at the Mexico game was way hotter. Play through. This is gonna be a goal. 3-1. Get in. Good goal, Paraguay.
Yeah, nice goal. And it is a substitution. He came on for bad day. The player that scored the own goal.
Tell her, Pochettino is not a good coach when it comes to managing games when he's winning.
Yeah, listen, man. Here, man, it was 105 degrees early in the day, and I was driving on the highway. I wasn't even looking at the temperature. Then I look on the dashboard on the car. I'm like, 105. I'm like, what, bro? It was crazy hot. It was crazy hot until a bit of a blessings of shower came down where you just see the temperature just drop right down to roughly between 70 and 75. That's crazy.
Which
Yeah, that one should have scored. Tillman should have scored that goal. That was a big moment. He should have scored that goal. He should have scored that goal. That was the opportunity.
Why is the Paraguay keep on making so many mistakes in their backline? What is that, man? I'm gonna try to throw over the game, dog.
The game already dashed it. From they can't see that third goal in the 58th minute, they got the game already gone. They just fighting a slim chance, hoping for the best. But kudos for them. I think they can use the second half as a positive.
I think if Paraguay score another goal, it's gonna be a very, very nervy game.
I think maybe Jerry need to get an pitch and someone who's very good, 1v1 that can create. while the game is open up, it will be a very good game for implement him in the team. Tell you, man, this first 45 minutes will set up this US team. Yeah, it can be the advantage and it can be the disadvantage because people will say, yes, look at this team. They can play to this level. Why they are not playing at this level? So let's see. Mentally, they're going to have to switch on, in games like these. Just see out the game, be mature. And I think that 10-man goal, that chance that he got, I think that should have been a goal to give them a very good respite as well. Go up 4-1, Paraguay scored 3-1, and he scored back in minutes. He just hit the win, out of Paraguayan players. And then from there, they just start to just walk around in football. They will not challenge because he hit the entire win out of them. And them score and give themselves a bit of hope. Then you go back and extend the lead to 3+ goals. So ooh.
Try.
That was a very good try as well. That was a very good try as well. The next thing might happen in this. I think that was a corner. No? Yeah, that was a corner. Why didn't the VR go check it too? As soon as that ruler come in, VR will do everything in football. You will not have a referee in the next.
I think it's gonna go like the NBA and the NFL. Like everything's gonna be micromanaged. You get what I'm saying? Because you have to remember, people have to remember that there's a lot of money in these games. Lots of money.
And that's what messing up the game.
There's a lot of betting.
Leave the game.
You get what I'm saying? So
leave the game, make it flow.
So people who are betting the games, they want to make sure that whatever results come, they want to know that the result is accurate and I didn't lose out because maybe the referee make a mistake. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like that's where football is going. We OG fans that have been watching football before football even come to anywhere near this, we have to just accept it. Gomez, go away, bro. You're gonna get yourself sent off. What's wrong with this, brother? Yeah, man. You foul the man and you're and not even him foul the man. I'm a go on, so. The man fling with the ball and referee could have given him another yellow card again. Come on, bro. You're the captain. Use your brain, bro. I don't understand these players.
Man, frustrated, bro. You know when he's a player and the referee make a silly mistake, especially when you're down, emotions are going to get the best of you. At times, you do stupid stuff. At times,
This is the country that Ali Moreno from ESPN FC come from?
No, Venezuela. Venezuela. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Venezuela. So FIFA, may I say all legends of legends since the World Cup start. So me can't say Rocco Santa Cruz na stadium. Rocco Santa Cruz na still alive.
Rocco Santa Cruz put Paraguay upon him back in Bayern Munich, legend. Which Premier League team Rocky Santa Cruz will play for again?
Blackburn,
yeah. Blackburn. Yeah, Iman McCarthy was up front.
Ewood Park.
Yeah.
Ewood Park was the stadium one time, you know. Ewood Park, Upton Park at West Ham was the stadium one time, man. Yeah. Was one of those little stadium where very difficult to go to. But I mean, I tell you, I think back in the days before my time, I think Blackburn snatched a Premier League from Man U, you know. Blackburn, West Ham. So crazy, man.
I forgot it when I title race. I forgot Ewing Park and Uptown Park for win a match. Gee, like brother here turning in a prime Brazil. Hard beat man.
You know,
Worst when we go.
Wigan
Worst.
Wigan Athletic used to be like that until them lock run out at DW Stadium.
Every season, the one in a relegation. Every year.
It's crazy, man.
Yo, come on. You have some team in the Premier League born for in a relegation. No matter what.
Crazy.
Relegation.
Wigan team was a decent team, you know, with Radiega, you know, Palacios, Figueroa, Sidwell,
Victor Moses too.
Yeah, Victor Moses. I think there's another player, you know, I think he's very
Sidwell.
short. He's very short. He's very short, and he weighed at number 10. I forgot his name. Yeah, that team, man. Every season they do the same thing.
They did win that. Is it the League Cup or the FA
Cup? I think it was the FA Cup. One of them. I think it was the FA Cup though. 2013.
Yeah.
All right.
Beat Man City.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Enciso have a contract with Salzburg where he can play for Chelsea.
If it's a sister club, what do you expect?
No, I think the contract they give him, they basically promise him that if he do really good there, he gonna go get the opportunity to play for Chelsea.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't buy those things. I hate the affiliating with Chelsea. Having affiliation with Strasbourg. I hate it, man. I hate it. See, City, it will affect City now because Girona relegated from the La Liga. You know, look what happened with Steve Parish and Crystal Palace, where because his affiliation with Leon as one of the co-owners and the board of director or whatever, where it passed in the Europa League.
But I feel like as a club and as a multi-club ownership, I think you have to do all your research. So when a situation like where both teams might end up in the Champions League or etc.
Man, cut that damn out, man. I hate it. Billy own players or send them out on loan. Yeah, that sometimes can mess up your clubs. All right, look, you know, I think with even the Ineos and Nice, it's very complicated. And you look at the Red Bull partnership with the Leipzig and Salzburg. It's just very complicated, man. I don't really like it. But again, yeah, it's a new wave of how people are doing ownership in football. You know, more money.
That's why they make their money.
Yeah, more money.
That ball went out like 2 times and the referee not blow the whistle. That's crazy. Well, Tim Ray got back on that. Yeah, but no, funny, but he got back on one day.
Check him hamstring. Check him hamstring. The man stretch him legs.
I think the player beside him was slow, man. I
Yeah,
slow and tired.
need a quicker player. He'll definitely win a ball. But look, Paraguay have to continue playing because with 8 best third place coming out of the group, every goal will count. Every goal will count. You get what I'm saying? So there's still don't want to concede another goal.
If you lose, try to get another goal. Don't.
Yeah, even just get another goal, it will count as well. You never know what can happen. You get one of those best third spot.
That's a dive. That is a dive. That's not a foul.
So will the referee go back and report that? He give him a yellow card? No.
Look.
Yeah,
watch out, look. The man not touch him. He run up in the man.
Let me see.
The man not touch him. And then flick himself around. That's not a foul. Come on.
That's not a foul.
That's not a foul.
But sometimes you have to pull off some of them fouls as well, some professional foul, to give your team a bit of a respite. You need to get back up the pitch. You need to get some breathing time. You have to get back your lungs and par.
Would you say USA take the breaks off the foot, or Paraguay was just better this second half?
I think it's kind of mixed. So look, I've been in a situation like leading, a very large margin into the first half. Psychologically, it's something that you hardly can help, knowing that you're leading 3-0. The muscle memory of who you want to press, do you want to burn the energy, especially, looking at what's ahead of them. Whole heap of games expect from them as well. At least they will have at least 5 games in the tank. They really would want to preserve some energy. But I have to credit, Alfara took the player out that scored the own goal, because right after he scored the own goal, he was struggling into the game. He was struggling, and then Mauricio came and then he scored. You get what I'm saying? And he bring a bit of energy in that midfield. And then when you look up front, they kind of still struggle to get Almiron in the game. But Sanabria and Gomez, they get their feet and in the game a little bit. So you have to credit them where they kind of tweak it, slightly. But I just think psychologically the US would have at some given point take them foot off the gas, start to manage the game a bit more. But the opportunity that Tillman missed, that was the opportunity to really put them in a very comfort zone of, all right, the game is done and dusted. There's no way back, for this Paraguayan team. So I just think it's just mix, in between, on both sides.
Yeah.
But the Paraguayan team, though, I think they're going to bring a lot of problem to Turkey and Australia in this group. They're still looking at that Australia game. Everyone is looking at that Australia game should get maximum 3 points in that game. And if Paraguay cannot get 3 points from that game, then I cannot see them going any further from the group stage. But tactically, it shows you that, look, something worked, for them in the midfield. You see a few times, they managed to pull away from the US defensive line and ask questions from them. So I just think if they probably would have started the game a bit early like that, probably would have been a different game. But the second half, though, the last 45 minutes should be a very good template on how they're going to start games in the next 2 match days, to give themselves a bit of opportunity to get some points on the board. So even the game that they're going to play Turkey, they will look in that game of Turkey last game would be the US. So they will looking into the next game of like, they will play Turkey next. Australia will play the US. So
That's a poor challenge.
it's going to be a tough game, for Paraguay versus Turkey team. As I have Turkey have the team to come out in this group alongside the US team, but it's going to be very sticky. Whether or not Paraguay can beat Australia wicked and come out on 3 points and get some goals, and that will boost up their goal average.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, they have been really better second half. I wouldn't say, I think USA was still trying to win, still trying to score at least one more goal, but Paraguay definitely come out a little bit better. But hope they just don't want to concede another goal before the end of the game, because I think that will crush their chance of getting anywhere near that third place spot.
Yeah.
So they don't want to concede another goal. And they might concede another goal. Because USA definitely going for the kill.
Okay. So if you look at it, right, look at the set piece and look how they build up on this left hand side. That's what the US did throughout the entire game, from midfield to the wing. Play the ball right in between one of the wing back and one of the center back to get freedom. And they have been doing this all game, going down the byline to get the ball across the box. That's how the own goal score, and that's how the template set for them. So it still tells me that this US team, it still tells me that this US team, they know what they are doing. They just can raise up the momentum at any given point, but it's just all about to manage the workload. And I think Pochettino, as a probably experienced coach, would have told him that as well. But just a few moments tells me that they can raise the momentum at any given point. And if you look at in the second half, each time, they pick their moment and start to play with a lot more pace and energy, there's problem for this Paraguayan team. I just think it's just too much. It's just too much. And I watched that game one time in the CONMEBOL qualification round. I think it was Paraguay and Argentina. That game played in Paraguay.
Ooh. Man, kick him one player in the face. Damn.
Oh. Yeah, that's very tough.
That's not a penalty.
That's very tough. Where you see that game where Argentina and Paraguay played, it was a game where Argentina gave Paraguay, too much time on the ball. Argentina, the build-up was slow. I don't know what happened, to the Argentina team during that game, but everything was just so slow with that Argentina team. So if you give the Paraguayan time and space and allow them to organize their defensive structure, they can be a very stubborn team to break down. But with the pace, I know the US start, not many teams in this World Cup can really match that defensively.
Yeah. I just feel like USA have the intensity and they have very young legs to able to play that right throughout the game. I just feel like I think you talk on it. I think where they're gonna be very suspect is that in that back line when they come up against better opposition forward and wingers. I think Tim Reed, I don't know if he's gonna have the leg to get back and run back and but I don't feel like they're gonna have I don't feel like USA will have a lot of the ball when they play a better team though. I think
But they should have Mackenzie. Mackenzie's on the bench. I think he played what? No, he left the Belgium Pro League. He's in France.
The Toulouse.
Yeah, he's in France. So, he's a good player, too. But Pochettino so in love with Tim Ream, it would take a very tough decision for him to give Tim Ream a rest. Unless this team go on to win this game now, which they're going to do, and win the next game and go 6 points, then probably rest a few players going to that Turkey game, but you still want to finish as the group leaders. Yo, Stuart Holding talking about run of 32 already. What the hell wrong with this guy? Yeah, all of a sudden, South American teams played, well at home, even Bolivia. I just think, you know what? This Paraguayan team have quite a few players playing in Brazil. It's the same for Bolivia. Quite a few players playing across South America as well. So I think everyone really expanding their wing. And if you look at it, overall, more money. I don't know where this money is coming from, but more money has been getting in a way the waves of South American football, especially Brazil. I don't know where the money is coming from, but more money pumping slightly in around Central America. More players are going back home. They manage to afford bigger and better coaches as well. And I think I was watching some under 17. Then I just randomly find it on TV where I think it was South America Championship. I think it was the under 20. And Bolivia is playing to a very good standard. I'm like, wow, Bolivia has not been known to have very good youth teams. But the local game I'm watch with them, I think Venezuela, them look really good. Yeah. Them look really good, to be honest. So there's something about South American football over the last probably 4 years where it's have grown to a level of it reached on the international level. And if you look at the last Copa America, Bolivia did play well with a very young team. So there's something about South American football. Oh, that's crazy. People, the US media crashed tonight.
It's 4-1.
The US media crashed tonight with that stunner to close out the second half, just like they did in the first half. He makes it look so easy. The US media crashed tonight. I can tell you that. Here, Bob Marley said, you got tired for seeing my face. We got tired for hear about the US men's national team until the next game.
Put it on the field with the players. That's crazy.
We better pray say that US team at drop points next game because we're not going to hear the end of it.
That him say keeper could save that?
Nah, Daniel. Come on, Daniel. That's class.
No, it's a class. No, it's a class score, but him
no, too much bodies. I think he saw it late, but that's a class of a goal. That's class. This player is one of the most gifted player, talented wise in this US team. One of, if not the best. I might be, capping with the policy, but J-Rayner, the talent and the things that he can do with the ball, not many US players can do it. But, injuries has rattled career, over the years. Turkey might give Reem problem. But, let me tell you, 4-1 on the day, my goodness, we're not going to stop here this. All of not sleep, we're not here to 9 years. I now watch no media morning. I'm not watching no media a morning. You got around at 32 the money I talk about already. Them gone through. Boy, I'm sorry for you Paraguayan fans. Them.
Support.
I'm sorry for them, man. Yeah, man. I feel sorry for them, man. I think that level here where US reach, it just bigger than them. I never think they would ever expect the US to hit that level here.
That was a poor.
Me never expect US to hit that level here. Even Paraguay, never expect.
Give USA the credit, but that was a poor game. I think that was very poor from Paraguay.
Yeah. So the man them, bless up. See you guys again, tomorrow. Them say the Samba Warriors are the Samba Boys, Joga Bonito. Tomorrow versus Morocco in New York. The city is nice. They name it twice.
It's a massive game.
So tomorrow game, Qatar versus Switzerland. Really want to see that Switzerland team because
I don't know that I go on for me. It's Qatar Switzerland game.
Yeah, you tell me that. Yo, I'm gonna say it from now. Don't be surprised the Haitian and win tomorrow. Yeah, man. I them me support in the World Cup, man. 80 me support. 80 me support. Don't be surprised 80 beat the Scotland Yard. Yeah, man. Right in them backyard. I would not be surprised.
Bombard.
Oh, listen what me I say. You see, G Arena is like the USA Phil Foden. A maverick of a player. Someone that, no matter what the coach wants to say, me, I gotta do my own thing.
Yeah.
You get what I say? We know how talented G Arena, was. But injuries just play some part in him career where it give him a stop and go. It give him a stop and go.
But he need to get his club career and chat though.
You know them players away, it will never happen. Like James Rodriguez, it will just never happen at club level.
Always look good for him national team, but for the club
if you look at it, G Arena by right, if it was a different team, probably wouldn't make that team with his club career. Because he had been injured, for a large part of the season for Gladbach. Yo, Mario Logan, me I say, don't be surprised it happened. That are my observation. Don't be surprised. Look, Scotland team strong. You get what me I say? But me just think that 80 team them have something where them have deliver. And also, this Scotland team has been struggling. And I heard on news that someone was saying that, McTominay have some food poisoning, but still traveling with the team, to Boston. But don't be surprised. It can happen. It can happen. And I would love to see it happen. But we will see tomorrow. It will be the last game of the day. So we will be right here back at this time talking about the post game of what happened in the Haiti and Scotland game. But if Haiti can stop the Scottish Messi, Jean McGinn, it will be a problem. Yeah, it will be a problem. But that's my observation still, to be honest. So one game tomorrow on the West Coast that will start 12 p.m. West Coast time in San Francisco on the Bay, and then the game in New Jersey, and then the game in Boston tomorrow, Foxborough in Massachusetts. Yeah, so people, much love and respect. What you think about Brazil versus Morocco? That's going to be a tough game. I don't be surprised if that game draw 1-1. Don't be surprised. I would love Brazil to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if that game draw 1-1. But
it's not gonna be an easy game.
Yeah, but Morocco new coach. Some players are new. The setup slightly different from Qatar. Certain players don't get picked, but still have a very good core of the players. You get what I'm saying? But Brazil have a pretty good record against African teams. So have a pretty good record against African teams. So history will tell you that the Brazil team will more likely get a positive result. It can, but not going to happen. Yo, we're seeing it tomorrow. Much love and respect for the man them. Yeah. We out.